Here's the pressing issue that I wanted to talk about. Pound 2022. That's a major. A major. May as well add the chocolate starfish while you're at it. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyways. Yeah, so this is the prize pool. Apparently, this is what second place got.
My abyss shall take you.
Innis Blizzard, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. This is what second place at Pound 2022 got for all their hard work. $888.30. And he said, Grand Finals had 50K viewers. I think $20 entry fee isn't a bad idea. $800, roughly, right? 50K viewers. I don't know the entrant number, unfortunately. So let's take a look at that, because I can probably tell you how much each entry paid. Attendees. Oh, Gluttony won. Cool. Gluttony won first. He got first place in Melee. I mean, in Ultimate. So for Melee, looks like altogether there was 284 players. 284 players. So if we get out a calculator, 284 times, I'm gonna guess 15. 284 times 15 is 4,000. Okay. So let's say that second place got 30%. No, would it be 25? Let's get that number back. Maybe 20%, right? No, well, I think it's $15 entry, but what he's asking for is $20 entry. People lost money. Yeah. So what I'm getting at here is there are roughly, when you go to a tournament, there are roughly 20 people in the building, right? Say there's 200 entrants. Roughly 20 people there that are certain that they could make some money that day. The other 180 people out of a 200-person tournament are just there to have a good time and fill the pot. We call those people pot monsters. Okay? Because all they're there for is to play the game, have a good time, fill the pot. Top players make some money, some lower level players lose some money. That's just the entry fee. Registration fee for these big majors is usually somewhere between, oh, it's $10. I looked it up. Cool. So registration fee. Okay, that's why my numbers weren't lining up. Those $10. Thank you for looking that up. Registration fee for these big tournaments is usually somewhere between $50 and $75, right? So that means for a pot monster to enter your game, he's already paying between $60 and $85 to enter and fucking lose. So what you're telling him now is that instead of paying between $60 and $85, he's paying between $70 and $85. Singles is $5 entry, doubles is $10. Okay, so it's $5, which means even less ahead, okay? Even less ahead. So if you're saying that $5, that you want to take $5 a month, it's only $5 to support the content that you're watching. Anyways, if you're telling me you want to take $5 and multiply that times 4, exponentially, you're going to lose a lot of players there. A lot of people are just going to say, oh no, $20, that's like a lot. I can't really enter that. I can't afford to pay $20 when I know I'm already just going to lose, right? So if I'm paying like $50 to get in the venue, and then $5 for Melee, $5 for Ultimate, just because I want to play both, I'm paying $60. You're telling me now to play, like I'm paying $50 to get in, 20 and 20, I'm paying $90 just to lose all that money and have a good time? Not to mention hotel room. No, that's weird. Just let me explain what's going on here. This is a classic example of top player privilege. It's just too much, right? They're expecting more money because they're performing at the highest level and they want their community to be able to eat well. If you want your community to be able to eat well, you've got to be able to get that big esports sponsorship money. You don't expect your community to have your back like that, because that doesn't translate well with a lot of players. What ends up happening is a lot of players end up leaving the scene because it feels money hungry, or because the cost of entry is just too high. And if the cost of entry is too high, then the TOs lose money because people are now showing up less. And the TOs are losing money, then now there might not be as many tournaments a year that they're going to run. You see, like there's so many backroom things that happen in this situation because you want to take a pot amount, or you want to take an entry fee and you want to multiply it by a number, right? So I remember when I first started running Soul Calibur tournaments here in my city, because Soul Calibur is not a very popular game here in Texas. Okay, it's not. Just because Epikai and Party Wolf used to live here doesn't mean it's very popular all over Texas. There's a lot of places in Texas that just don't give a fuck about Soul Calibur. That's why a lot of regions in Texas are very free, and I could go free them up if I wanted to right now. And I'm not even as good as the game as I could be, right? Anyways, get back to the point. When I first started running Soul Calibur tournaments here, every other game in the venue that I was running had $5 entry fee. And I ran Soul Calibur at a $3 entry fee. Because it's just, hey, look, I have an extra $3 in my pocket. I can enter Soul Calibur. Sure, I remember that game. It had Link on the GameCube. That was cool. Oh, and then on the PS3, it had Darth Vader. That was sick. Oh, and that one that had Ezio. What's the guest character in this one? Oh, it's 2B? That's cool. I like Nier Automata. Oh, it's Geralt, the fucking guy from the Witcher game. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll play it, right? And it gets a lot of people into the door. When we started having more consistent numbers, yeah, that's fine. When we started having a little more consistent numbers, I raised it to $5 with the rest of the games. And a lot of people who were just entering because it was the $3 fell off. We went from getting close to Tekken, where Tekken would have like 18 to 25 people, and we'd be straggling right behind. We could like get a full 16 sometimes. We went from 16 to like 12 or to 8 because the people that remained when that entry fee went up, even on a $2 basis, such a small level, those are the people who were like, you know, maybe I can get second place there. Maybe I can get first place there. Maybe I can win some money. Maybe I can actually get my money back. A lot of these people that enter tournaments know they will never see a dime of their money back, right? If you live in the area, it may not be as expensive, but there's so many factors. Like there's hotels, there's travel fees, there's food for the weekend, right? There's this new controllers, right? Your controller's busted. You can't go to a fucking made with a bust controller. You gotta buy a new controller that you've been putting off because you just play online at home, no problem. You play on, you know, a fucking Dolphin or whatever, Slippy, or you play on online Ultimate's trash online anyway. Who cares? I don't need to fix my controller. If you start trying to nickel and dime your community and take this number, right? So he got $888 for second place. You take this number, and if entry fee was $5, and you make it instead $20, you take this number, and what you're thinking in your head is, yes, I take this number and I multiply it by 4. Boom. Yes, perfect. By 4, because everyone that entered, all the people that entered are for sure going to still enter, even though the price went up 4 times. That's just wrong. It doesn't extrapolate that way. Because a lot of people that entered Melee, maybe they entered Melee, but maybe they also entered Ultimate. Maybe their main game is Ultimate, right? Or maybe their main thing is doubles, and they only play doubles with like their best friend or whatever. And they're like, you know what, I'll enter singles because it's $5. Why not? I'll spend the extra $5 and enter singles. What does it hurt? If you tell someone now it's going to be an additional $20 to enter singles when all they went to do was play Ultimate because they're an Ultimate player, or all they went to do was go play Melee doubles with their best friend because their best friend's a Melee player and they're an Ultimate player, they're not going to enter singles now. So that's $20 less immediately. That doesn't hurt the TO or the venue, which is cool. But on the other side of that spectrum, there are going to be people who just say, no, I can't go now because $20 to enter my one game, damn, that's 4 times what I had to pay last year. That's a lot. Damn. And then the entry fee as well, you know, the registration fee, which is $50 or whatever. Damn, like $70. I paid $55 last year. I still have to get a hotel. I still have to get food. I still have to travel over there. If I'm not in region, I still have to get a plane ticket. Those are really expensive right now. There's so many other factors that go into why these games are the way they are, like prize pool wise. So if you want your community to not struggle, because he had another tweet, which I understand, I get it. Let me see. When I started in Smash, here it is. When I started in Smash, I would use the hundreds of bucks I made from locals, until I saved enough to buy plane tickets for majors. I'd sleep on living room floors to save money and repeat the process for years. I want the next generation trying to make it big and Smash have it easier. Do you know what you need for that? Not this. You don't hurt your pot monsters. I'm not even following Hungrybox. I follow him on Twitch. I just don't follow him here. I don't care for fucking Smash takes. Anyways. This is what you need. He says it here somewhere. Anyways, I won't press about it anymore. TOs, top players, attendees, staffs, they all have roles to play at the events. Attendees, they do have a role to play. They're filling up the pot for you. Don't take them for granted. TOs lose money if you try to take them for granted like that. There's a reason I've been using any support on a big stage to essentially beg Nintendo for dev support. That's the true solution to all of this. But LOL. Dev support. Dev support. That is what every game that wants to be competitive truly needs. Now, if your game is not built for competitive and the devs don't want to support you, you're shit out of fucking luck. Get bodied. I'm sorry, right? Get fucking owned, nerd. You're playing Smash, right? As much as I like joke about it, oh, Smash is a party game, haha, hee hee. They really do love this game and they want it to be competitive. You've got to find other sponsors. You can't rely on dev support. You gotta have to find sponsors other ways, like maybe Nike or some sort of sponsorship deals with big esports organizations, things like that. Because this clearly isn't cutting it. That would not work. That would just bleed the game of players, right? And of new faces, because they're like, oh no, I heard their entry fees are outrageous. I'm not entering Melee. That game is really hard. People have been playing it forever. They're already super good. I gotta get into it by having a fucking emulator on my computer and play like that. I can't do. I gotta use one of those GameCube controller things, super unergonomic. They hurt my hands. There's so many things, and that goes for every game, right? I would never take for granted the people who enter a game just for fun and try to make more money off of them. As a person who, when Soul Calibur had a local scene here in town, I won it almost every time. I would never take for granted those people those people who played just because they liked the game and wanted to have fun, ever. I think it would make sense for Nintendo not to want to support a competitive scene for the game because they don't want people to think Smash is a competitive game by nature and casuals by less. Yeah, exactly, right? So, speaking of the game that I'm going to be playing against Malfunction here in a little bit and beating the fuck out of them. Your GFK is so scuffed with sunglasses? Show me. Do it. Anyways, I think that a game like Brawlhalla that has phenomenal dev support, or Rivals of Aether that has phenomenal dev support, and they're also like built from the ground up to be platform fighters, like they're built with items in mind for competitive, or like built without items in mind specifically for competitive. Those games thrive because that's what they were meant for, and that does look really scuffed. Maybe you just have to build the community that way so that you can get that support somewhere else, not from the devs. They don't want to support the game that way. But the weird thing is Nintendo does like balance patches. The funny thing is those balance patches don't actually always happen for the competitive community. It's just that online a lot of the time, because the competitive players push the characters that happen to be the best, like, oh, this character's so broken for net play and tournaments. Like, they push that shit and they use it for clickbait for YouTube videos. A lot of the times those best characters end up being seen on the big stage and online a lot, right? Like when Crom was very big, a lot of people online were just Chromiciding the fuck out of everyone. So like Nintendo was like, this doesn't look very healthy. We got to get rid of this. But you don't need you don't need patches balancing for a game that's not competitive. You don't. I agree. Like there's like a weird thing that Nintendo's doing there where they're balancing their game in a competitive way when they're refusing to admit that they want their game to be competitive. So it is very strange. I agree. About to uninstall after this fade, just saying? Sure. Yeah. Sure. I mean, I'm going to uninstall the game anyway. I don't fucking like Brawlhalla. There's no block button. There's no ledge grabbing. The game fucking sucks. It's very Nintendo. Yeah. I agree. But there's definitely other things that you can do other than to change the fucking amount by 4 times. It's going to bleed the game of players. It's not going to help. It's going to make it look really bad. But there's dodge. The dodge is shit. Dodge is awful. It's god awful. It's really good, but it's so good that the whole game is built around it instead of being built around, strike, throw, block, and throw, all that like every other platform fighter is. Like the game that I like that does dodging well and no ledge as well is Rivals of Aether. Brawlhalla doesn't do it well because you can be kept off weapons and shit. You down to play some Fortnite? Maybe later. I gotta beat up Malfunction in Brawlhalla real quick. Anyways, if you think that Hungrybox had a good take here, that if you just raise the entry fee, it'll help support the top players better, leave a like on the video. Leave a dislike if you don't agree with Hungrybox. Because don't worry, it doesn't ruin the algorithm. I can't see them. Just leave a dislike if you think this is a shit take. And I would leave a dislike on my own video because I don't think it's a good take. I think it's a very bad take and it's just going to bleed the game of players. and maybe even ruin TOs because it'll ruin the amount of money that they're able to bring in. Can I join Brawlhalla? I'm just playing him 1v1. Anyways, we'll see you guys later. Another YouTube video in the bags. 2 in one day. Hopefully I actually upload them today. That'd be cool. I should remember to do that. Like the video and subscribe for more content and stuff. We do these little talk segments every now and then. Or just come watch it on the Twitch live. Haha. Because my Twitch chatters are cool. Very cool. Anyways, we'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.